Alright, so we're going to do a little trick shot here. I'm going to bounce my nymph off the left side rock here, and it's going to shoot underneath the right rock ledge there. This is first go. And we got it. First go. Hi, this is Ethan with Telltale's Fly Shop, and today I want to talk to you about the Thomas & Thomas Zone 7/6 3-weight. This is one of the more popular rods that we have in the shop, especially for the US-made budget rods, or what we would call like a mid-price rod at about $500. So I've been using this rod about a year and a half now, and figured it was about time to do a little bit of a video description on some of the details, but more importantly, is this a rod that you can use in your fishing scenarios? So the first thing to realize about this rod, the Zone, is that the 3-weight model is more of what I would term a medium fast rod action. It is definitely a rod designed for dry droppers. You can throw even small streamers and just a single dry fly is normal. Contrasted to other styles of rods like the Paradigm in the Thomas & Thomas Zone, that rod is a very medium or slower action that's going to really shine with dry flies. This rod I would term more in that workhorse kind of all-around category. I like it a lot because on a lot of our small streams, if you're fishing year-round, there are times where you need varying techniques to catch fish. So sometimes that means you might have to add a nymph, which I know that's just blasphemy to some people, but other times I might want to throw a small streamer. And that's one of the greatest benefits about the 3-weight, this one in particular, is that you can do that. There are obviously limitations because it is the 3-weight, but this is a really good all-around Virginia small stream rod. And the way that I use this is primarily going to be with dry droppers like what we're throwing today, which is a March Brown, and then we've got a little smaller sort of Prince Nymph variation off that about 16 inches. We've caught quite a few fish today, which is expected this time of the year. And one of the ways that this rod shines is that you're able to make these really short, tight casts and just place the dry in the dropper exactly where you want it to. Now, a lot of rods could be said of that, but with this one, you can be incredibly accurate. I mean, it is interesting, especially once you learn it, which could be said of any rod for sure, but once you learn it, this rod, you can drop it in a cup if you wanted to, which is super beneficial when the size stream that we're fishing like today here is maybe 5 foot across in the average depth. So the main lines that I match with this rod, especially for our small streams and how we're fishing, are lines that have about 110 to 120 grains in them. I know that's where everything starts getting nerdy, but basically what you're going to do is if you get a fly line, or if you're looking at buying a fly line for this rod and you're fishing in Virginia or the areas that we're fishing here, which are small streams that have dense vegetation around them, then you're making these really short casts, and you want this rod to load quickly, or you want to basically be able to cast short distances as accurate as possible. And if you get a normal 3-weight line, the majority of the 3-weight lines that are just a standard trout taper are 100 grains for a 3-weight. So if you're getting a normal trout size line, what I would do would step up to what would be a 4-weight fly line to match with this 3-weight. If you're looking at smaller stream fly lines, so there are a lot of fly lines that are designed specifically for smaller streams, like the Amplitude. This is the creek trout line that I have on today. And with this one, it comes in at 120 grains. So what you're basically going to be doing is, if this is a rod that you're interested in, you can look in your arsenal or pick up some of your older fly boxes that you might have, or fly line boxes that you might have sitting in your closet somewhere, and see what's the grain weight of the line. It should tell you on the back of the box. If it doesn't, you might have to do a little bit of digging, or shoot us a message and we can do that digging for you. So an overall review of this rod would be, I like it a lot for Virginia. It is an all-around workhorse of a rod. This is not me unboxing it out of the tube today and saying, buy this rod. It looks fancy. It does look fancy, but I've actually been using it myself for about 1.5 years, and I've come from using different fiberglass rods. I've come from varying lengths of graphite rods, and as far as a budget, I would say budget US made fly rod, I think that this one is one of the top contenders in that $500 price range. Some of the benefits that come with it as well is you get the fancy aluminum tube. I wouldn't carry that on an airplane because they're probably going to confiscate it, but if you're traveling in the backwoods or doing any backpacking or camping, it's a really cool tube to be able to slide everything into it, and you know that the rod's going to be kept safe. I mean, you could even run that thing, run a car over the thing in the tube and it would be fine. That being said, you're not buying a rod for the tube. You're buying a rod because of the action of the rod itself. So if you're the type of person that your fishing style lends itself to single dry flies, then I might tell you to look at another rod option. That might be a Paradigm, that might be the Thomas Lodic. There are other rods that are in the same or a little bit over price range that are more suited to a single dry fly. This rod is going to shine more when you are willing and want to cast it in varying conditions. If that is today where the flows are a little bit lower than usual, so we're just using a smaller nymph and still a big dry fly. There are times where we get just crazy amounts of rain, and so you do have to add split shot. And this rod can cast that without a problem. Other days you might want to throw a small streamer. Like at the beginning of summer, that's something that I find pretty fun. Take a little tiny streamer, cast it up into the pool, strip it back. This rod can do that for you, whereas other rods would have a lot more difficult time. So main things to take away is if you're looking at that $500 price range of a rod, this one is a great all-around selection. If you're thinking about one rod that you can use for all of your small stream fishing, this is one that I would highly recommend. I've fished a lot of other ones, but this is the one that I keep going back to. It looks nice, it's got good cosmetic appeal to it if that's something that you care about, but more importantly is it has a very high performance for the cost. It's very lightweight, and it has a good old Thomas & Thomas sticker on it right there, which I like. Alright, hope that review helps you. If you have more questions or you want to cast one, then give us a ring, come to the shop. We've got this one, which is mine, that's pretty much always there, that you can take out into the parking lot and give it a whirl, see if you like it. And we pretty much always have these in stock, so if it's something that you're looking for, or like I said, you're trying to get it for this weekend, then just give us a ring or shoot us an email, and we can get you sorted. Alright, have a good day.